Scottsdale, Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the JV Sports LLC.
You're listening to the JV Sports Show. Talking JUCO, NAIA, D2, D3, and community college sports. And now, here's your hosts, James Poovey and Vince Delicio.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the JV Sports Show. Vince Delicio here. My partner, James Poovey, is en route on his way. Welcome, and thank you so much for listening to us this morning. We are live. We are remote from the IHOP at 6601 West Peoria Avenue in Glendale. We are just east of 67th Avenue, south side of Peoria in Glendale. It's a nice, quaint little spot here, and there's a reason why we're here. The reason why we're here is there's a couple big games tonight. Most notably, there is a game between Arizona Christian University hosting the Panhandle State University, the Aggies, and we're going to be visiting with Coach Jeff Bowen. We wanted to make it as convenient as possible without actually going to his doorstep and doing the show this morning. So Coach Bowen will be with us. But first, we have a special guest with us. Mitch is our guest on the line. Oh, wonderful. Coach Morgan Goodrich. You know, James and I are the masters of the obscure and kind of odd and different. And Coach Goodrich is the rodeo coach out at East Mississippi Junior College. Coach Goodrich.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I say kind of different and obscure, and that's speaking from our, metropolitan Phoenix area here. But you guys have a viable NJCAA sport out there. Tell us a little bit about the sport.
Well, actually, we're not NJC affiliated. We are NIRA, which is National Intercollegiate Rodeo Association.
Got it.
So not only do we compete with junior colleges, but we compete against senior, 4-year colleges as well.
Okay. And how long has this sport been around at East Mississippi?
This is our 10th year to have a rodeo program. But the college rodeo has been around for over 50 years.
Okay. And what are some of the events within the sport that your athletes compete in?
We compete in bell racing, goat tying, breakaway roping, steer wrestling, calf roping, team roping are our main events. And then there's rough stock events as well, such as bareback riding, bull riding, and saddle bronc riding.
Wow. And so do you guys, where do you compete? Do you have a facility near campus there that your competition occurs? Do you travel around a lot?
We travel around. In the NRA, there's 11 regions, and we are the Ozark region, which is the largest region. And there's about 14 schools in our region, but we go to 10 rodeos a year. So we'll travel to Missouri Valley College, to West Alabama University, Three Rivers, Southern Arkansas, Murray. We host a rodeo, so 10 different schools will host a rodeo within a year, and we all, meet there and compete.
Now, tell us about the equipment. I mean, and forgive us because, we're out here in Metro Phoenix and the closest thing that we tend to see in terms of rodeo on any given day is turning on the TV. So we don't get to experience it a lot. I mean, there are, the Prescott Rodeo here is one of the oldest in the country, but,
I've been there before.
In terms of, competing at the intercollegiate level, it's a little different for us. So forgive us for some of the questions, but
no worries.
the equipment, and do you have your own, animals? Do you have your own,
Yes, all
bulls,
of our students will bring their own animals to the school, depending, their horses specialize in each event that they compete in. And then we have practice dummies, as you would say, sleds that we pull around for breakaway roping. There's, different machines for, practicing rough stock events. But, we also have live cattle as well that we rope every day.
Okay. And do some fundraising, obviously, because these animals got to eat. So, do you have a lot of partners, sponsors? Is it funded by the school? How does that work?
We have a lot of local, sponsors that help out, especially when we put on our rodeo each year. We'll each of the students and myself, we go out and get sponsors to help with the rodeo, and that makes some money to help feed the animals.
Okay.
But yes, it can be expensive.
Now, tell us about your next event that's coming up.
Our next event will be in Southern Arkansas University. It'll be November 31st through, October 31st through November 2nd. And again, each school, we all meet there. It's kind of like a track meet. Everybody comes there and competes. So we all compete against each other. And when we go to these rodeos, our rodeo, every region is different, but our rodeos are a long go and a short go, which ultimately ends up in an average. So you'll compete. Everybody competes one time, and then the top 10 fastest in that event goes to the short round, and then, you decide your winners from an average.
Interesting. Do you get do a lot of your athletes, do they go on to compete, in the circuit, nationally, professionally? What do you see coming through?
Both, actually. We obviously, we want them to receive an education, so we encourage them to compete at four-year colleges, which sometimes hurts us because we recruit really well and get them as freshmen and sophomores, and then encourage them to go to four-year colleges, which they then come back and compete against us, as seniors and juniors. So a little bit more experience, and then they come back competing against us. So that's sometimes not the best for our program, but we recruit really well and do really good with, our freshmen and sophomores. But we do have several kids that compete professionally. Tristan Martin and Marcus Terrio, who are two of our national champions that came out of East Mississippi, they compete. Will Loomis, he made the NFR this year. Caleb Driggers made the NFR this year. And then NFR is the National Finals Rodeo held in Las Vegas. And it's kind of like the Super Bowl of rodeo. Okay.
So you make it out to Vegas then. You make it that far west, and we're not far from there.
No, that's the professional rodeo. The college national finals are held in Casper, Wyoming.
Okay.
But the goal is to, after your education and you graduate, is to compete professionally and, of course, make it to the national finals in Las Vegas.
Gotcha. Your husband is no stranger to the circuit. He's a former pro as well. Tell us a little bit about him.
He doesn't compete as much as he would like to now, but we still get to compete. We go to California in the summer and go to Salinas Rodeo, and he still competes in our circuit and whatnot. But like I said, not as much as he would like to, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty amazing, Coach. It's you got to have a blast. Coaching these kids, these young people, and coaching for one thing is definitely an honor, is a pleasure working with young people. But to be doing something that you absolutely love and to do it in a sport that's a little different, a little unconventional, it's got to be so many unknowns, so many things that can happen over the course of an event. There's a lot of highs and lows, ups and downs, and the adrenaline that must flow. I mean, what's the craziest thing that you've seen happen in one of your competitions?
As far as an injury?
Well, an injury or a triumph.
Well, we expect triumph, but obviously Marcus Terrio winning the national championship at the college finals was amazing, and then Tristan Martin coming back 2 years later and doing the same thing was outstanding. It comes, the highs come with the lows, and I think that's with any sport. So I don't really feel that it's that much different, but we're expecting big things this season. So we've been doing really well so far. So, I hope that continues. And like I said, I'd like to see something positive at the end of the year, and hopefully we can take our kids to the national finals.
Well, Coach, thank you so much, and good luck the rest of the way. And we look forward to checking in with you periodically, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Wonderful. Okay, Coach Morgan Goodrich, East Mississippi Junior College, thank you so much for joining us. James, are you here?
I'm here.
Good morning, everyone.
Great job this morning so far. You're doing outstanding, my friend.
Well, they have to take me off the screen. You never know.